Faith leaders were some of the first to respond to the Supreme Court's landmark decision on abortion back in 1973, and the conversations have continued in their congregations ever since.
News specialist Erin spoke one-on-one with some of Utah's most influential faith leaders about how their stances on abortion haven't changed, but the conversations surrounding them have.
Historic photos capture the Cathedral of the Madeleine in a different era.
The moral principle of the Catholic Church is called the common good.
The court ruled in cases from Texas.
January 22nd, 1973, challenged the beliefs of Catholics across the country when the Supreme Court legalized abortion.
In spite of this horrifying decision, the American people must rededicate themselves to the protection of the sacredness of all human life.
The Lord be with you.
We are not pro-birth.
Hallelujah.
We are pro-life.
Something Father Martin DIAZ still feels today.
Wow, what a challenge us Christians, us Catholics have to be pro-life in the next days, months, years ahead, to really, truly be pro-life, to really honor every single life that comes into the world.
It's deeper than just a policy.
Correct.
And Father Martin says they have added perspective to their beliefs.
We're hoping we can take a message from God and be as loving as God is. We would never counsel anyone to have an abortion, but we know that it happens. And so if anyone has gone through an abortion, we love those people.
Love and grace is what it's all about at the Calvary Baptist Church.
Put your hands together for our music ministry.
Grace is God giving you what you don't have. Mercy is God withholding what you do deserve. Abortion, in my perspective, is clearly wrong. But I also believe that we serve a God of grace and mercy.
Traditionally, Baptists have been against abortion. But Pastor Oscar Moses says his beliefs differ from the mainstream.
I believe that those decisions as it relates to women and abortion is between her gynecologist, her and her God.
This is my Bible.
It's not navigating faith that Pastor Moses worries about, rather the socioeconomic impact on his people.
Where I have a predominantly African-American community, will they have access to equal health care? Will they be given prenatal care? And for single home families, you know, will they have the assistance that they need?
At Congregation Kol Ami, Rabbi Sam Spector says they are part of both reform and conservative movements of Judaism, meaning they focus on conserving certain traditions while embracing more modern beliefs.
So there are different Jewish perspectives and a lot of debate within Judaism of when exactly does life begin. The most important commandment is to save a life, which overrides everything else.
In Israel, Rabbi Spector says panelists decide whether or not someone is allowed to have an abortion, in all situations prioritizing the life of the mother.
They have different criteria. Quality of life is one of those. Rape, incest, life of the mother. Is the mother going to be a single mom? Will this put financial burden on her where she goes into poverty?
But there is no panel here in Utah. Instead, Rabbi Spector counsels couples one-on-one, even discussing abortion before marriage.
I talk to them about the importance of getting genetic testing done. I talk to couples too and say, do you have the same stance?
It sounds like you really focus on quality of life.
There's 613 laws in the Torah. Most of those are only for Jewish people, but 8 laws that apply to all people are preventing unnecessary suffering on living creatures. And I think you can use that law to make an argument on either side of this debate.
Historic decisions invoking conversations that will stand for years to come.
The challenge is, how do we as a society develop the common good?
Father Martin says they're working on a new program dedicated to helping mothers with prenatal care, child care, etc., as a way to help the community as a whole. In Salt Lake City, Erin, KSL 5 News.